Vandeham Shri Guru Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsam.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome back to the 75th episode of Paripraśna. So, as you know, we have just started discussing the Vedic cosmology from Canto number 5 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, actually, this is quite a big chunk towards the end of Canto 5, from chapter 16 all the way up to chapter number 26. A good amount of 10-11 chapters talks about the Bhagavata cosmology. Very, very fascinating aspects, the structure of the universe, and so many different things. So we have just discussed chapter 16 and some part of 17 in the last episode. So our objective today is going to be try and cover the prayers offered by the residents of the 9 different varshas of Jambudvipa. So there is one set of prayer in the fag end of chapter 17, and there are 6 sets of prayers in chapter 18, and then there are about 2 prayers in chapter 19. And then after that, in chapter 19, there are also the wonderful glories of Bharata Varsha that are being described by the demigods. So we will try and cover all these very meaningful aspects today, the 9 sets of prayers and the glories of Bharata Varsha. And as always, to take us through these sections and help us understand the deep, profound meanings of these prayers, we have with us His Holiness Bhakti Padma Saurabh Pracharak Swami Maharaj. So let us go ahead and inquire from Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
So Maharaj, as we know, prayers are peppered throughout Bhagavatam. So every single pastime, there are some major prayers that come. And why would a speaker like Shukadeva Goswami, in the 11 chapters where he is talking about Jambudvipa, the Varshas, the Meru Parvata, the lakes, the oceans, the mountains, and the gardens, and so many different things, the horizontal, vertical structure, and whatnot, and towards the end, he'll talk about hellish planets also. Why would he take a good amount of maybe 1.5 to 2 chapters just to talk about prayers?
Prayers are the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Mhm.
Every pastime of Bhagavatam in the Bhagavatam ends with a prayer.
Okay.
We find the whole pastime of Narasimha's appearance ends with the prayers of Prahlad.
Mhm.
And Dhruva Maharaj pastime ends with the prayer of Dhruva Maharaj.
Mhm.
And in those prayers, you have the bhakti in the heart of the particular devotee hidden in those prayers.
Okay.
So whatever any prasanga, any book ends, that should be the conclusion. Conclusion is essence.
Mhm.
And these prayers are the essence of the particular pastime. And the Bhagavatam is filled with pastime. So prayers becomes the essence of Bhagavatam.
Mhm.
In this way, if somebody wants to receive the mercy or the bhakti which the devotee has for the Lord, and the devotee has hidden that mercy or the bhakti which he has in the heart in those prayers. So by chanting those prayers, we get that bhakti.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Maharaj, before we dive into these prayers, we see in the 9 different varshas, like Lord Shiva is worshipping Sankarshana, Prahlada is worshipping Narsimhadev, Hanuman is worshipping Lord Rama, like this various great personalities worshipping their particular deities. We are under the impression that Lord Shiva means he will be in Kailasa, Hanuman means he will be in Saketadam in spiritual world, Prahlada will be in Narsimha Loka. So what are these exalted personalities doing in Jambudvipa, which is part of Bhumandala, part of material world? So why do we see these great personalities in these varshas here?
The Lord is there in the spiritual world eternally. At the same time, he is in the material world also eternally.
Okay.
And the devotees who are in a particular mood, worshipping a particular form of the Lord, they are there in a particular varsha, worshipping that particular form of the Lord.
Mm.
That shows that Bhakti is not just only in the earthly planet, but it is all in over the world, all over the universe.
Mm-hmm.
So there, the mood of a particular deity is manifest. In that particular mood, the devotees worship the Lord in a particular mantra. So they set the example for us in the material, in this not material, in this earth, to follow in the footsteps of that particular deity. And those who are in the process of Kramamukti, they go there to that particular planet where the Lord is there personally, and he speaks to those devotees there. In this way, the Pancharatri scriptures glorify the different forms of the Lord. And those forms of the Lord in the different varshas, they are there in this earth in the form of the deity. Mula mantras are also derived from that particular methodology of worship which those devotees do in that particular form.
Okay. So, for example, now let's say Hanuman. So, are we saying, just like you said in your explanation just now, that the Lord is eternally present in spiritual world, he is also eternally present in the material world? Does this apply for the devotees also? Like Hanuman, is he eternally there in Saketadam in spiritual world? Is he also there in Ketumala Varsha? And he is also there wherever Ramayana is taking place right now, in whichever universe.
Hanuman in the Him Purusha Loka, he is there. And also he is there eternally in the spiritual world. When the Lord appears, he appears along with his eternal associates. So eternally in the spiritual world in Saket, Hanuman is doing pastimes with Lord Ramachandra. But when Hanuman appears, expands into this world along with Lord Rama, worshipping in the particular Varsha, there he is setting an example for the conditioned souls how to worship the Lord. And those who are worshipping the Lord in the mood of Hanuman, following the footsteps of Hanuman, they join him there after their death here, or they're leaving the body here. So in this way, the whole purpose of the Lord being in those varshas is to set a standard for the conditioned souls about the methodology of worship and the mantras, the Mula mantras by which they can be worshipped, that the Lord is worshipped in a particular form.
Okay. Interesting. So Maharaj, talking about this topic sthanam, which we went a little deep into it last episode. So sthanam means nourishment, protection, positioning the various jivas in their right place where it is ideal for them to continue their progressive spiritual journey. So of the 84 lakh species, leaving out the human species, that which is 4 lakh species, the remaining 80 lakh, okay, different, there are aquatics, beasts, insects, so many reptiles, all these trees, or they're all there. So this 4 lakh species of humans also. So now we see in all these 9 varshas, there are all humans, but not the same category of humans. So is it like this 4 lakh species of humans are being placed, sthanam, positioned in different varshas based on their consciousness?
Yes.
Okay.
Among the 4 lakh species, only few are there on this Bhugola, earth, what we say. They are Kim Purushas, Kinnaras, Gandharvas, Yakshas, Vinayakas. They're all there in the Bhumandala. Within the Bhumandala, there are many Deepas. In the Deepas, there are Varshas. These Varshas are there here.
Okay. Interesting. So now we'll go into the prayers, Maharaj, one after another. So the first set of prayers coming in chapter 17, the last part of it, starting from the 17th verse. Here Lord Shiva is worshipping Sankarshana in Ilavrita Varsha. So text number 17, chapter 17. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Om Namo Bhagavate Mahapurushaya Sarva Guna Sankhya Yanantaya Vyaktaya Nama Iti. The most powerful Lord Shiva says, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you in your expansion as Lord Sankarshana You are the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. Although you are unlimited, you remain unmanifest to the non-devotees. And in the very next verse, the last line, he's saying, kindly accept me as your eternal servant. So very interesting, Maharaj. Right in the beginning of 17th verse, when Shiva speaks, it said Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. But that quote unquote Bhagavan is actually praying to Sankarshana and requesting him, kindly accept me as your eternal servant. So what is the position of Shiva and why is he praying to Sankarshana? So if you can little elaborate on his prayers.
Yeah, what will the devotee do other than praying to the Lord? When you ask why Lord Shiva is praying to Sankarshana, what else the devotee can do? He can only pray to the Lord. So now the position of Lord Shiva, of course, we all know that he is a servant to the Lord. He Vaishnava, Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu, Bhagavatam says. And after the different forms of the Lord, he worships Sankarshana. Sankarshana, who is in charge of false ego. And Lord Shiva is in charge of false ego at the level of, in the material level. So those who want to get rid of false ego, they should worship Lord Shiva and Sankarshana. So that is how Lord Shiva is. He is always chanting the name of the Lord. And Krishna is there in the heart of Lord Shiva in the form of Sankarshana. Sankarshana is expansion of Balaram. He is Adi Guru. So Lord Shiva is Guru. Sarva Guruvai Namaha. He is a Guru for everyone. Lord Shiva is a Guru for Bhuta Pretas, and Lord Shiva is Guru for Narada and Kumar. As you name, everybody is Guru. He is a spiritual master for everyone. He preaches to a wide spectrum of audience, right from the Bhuta Pretas till all those exalted personalities. So that's the position of Lord Shiva. And he is showing to the entire world that I am a servant to the Lord. So he is praying to the Lord, please accept me as a servant. You name a scripture, there will be the teacher of that scripture will be Lord Shiva. Grammar, music, Pancharatra, Tantra Shastra, Bhagavata. You name a category of scripture, the speaker, Shiva, Lord Shiva will be a speaker. And not only is just a speaker for all the categories of scriptures, he is a guru for all categories of people.
Okay. The reason I asked that, Maharaj, why is he praying? That was because, especially for Shaivites who think Shiva is the ultimate, he's the supreme Lord. And also this Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, very rarely we see that used for anybody else other than Krishna. So that is why I was asking why he is praying to Sankarshana and all that.
Even sometimes Lord Shiva is addressed as Bhagavan. Anybody who has got extraordinary qualities and power, they can be addressed as Bhagavan.
Okay.
But Lord Shiva himself is addressing Krishna Sankarshana as Bhagavan. That itself says that Lord Shiva is a Vaishnava. Now, and all the Vaishnavas are real Shaivites because they worship Lord Shiva.
Yes.
In the 4th canto, you heard about Rudra Gita.
Rudra Gita, correct.
There, Lord Shiva clearly says, those who worship Vishnu are the most dear to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So those who pleases Lord Shiva is a Shaivite. So those who worship Lord Vishnu are pleasing Lord Shiva. So those who worship Lord Vishnu are real Shaivites.
So one more shloka, a couple of shlokas related to this, and then we'll move on to the next set of prayers with us. So text 22 and 23, translation. From that Supreme Personality of Godhead appears Lord Brahma, whose body is made from the total material energy, the reservoir of intelligence predominated by the passionate mode of material nature. From Lord Brahma, I myself am born as a representation of false ego known as Rudra. By my own power, I create all the other demigods, the 5 elements, and the senses. Therefore, I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than any of us, and under whose control are situated all the demigods, material elements, and senses, and even Lord Brahma and I myself, like birds bound by a rope. Only by the Lord's grace can we create, maintain, and annihilate the material world. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. So, very nice how Lord Shiva is recognizing that although he is the Lord who destroys, Brahma is the one who creates, Vishnu he maintains. But he's saying here only by the Lord's grace can we create, we maintain, we annihilate. So, therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances. So, if you can shine some light on how Krishna is the ultimate supreme controller and everybody else is controller only to the extent that Krishna allows them to. So, if you can highlight that a little bit more.
Ikala Ishvara Krishna Arasavritya. So when Lord Vishnu wants to create, or Lord Shiva, Krishna has a desire to create, he expands as Balaram. Balaram expands as Sankarshna, Pradyumna, Rudra and Vasudeva. That is the Pratama Chaturvyuha. From Pratama Chaturvyuha, Sankarshna, or other Dvitiya Chaturvyuha comes, Sankarshna, Pradyumna, Rudra and Vasudeva. Then like that there are unlimited Chaturvyuhas. Dvitiya Chaturvyuhas are unlimited. Just though they are unlimited, for the sake of saying, you have to say some last Chaturvyuha, Sankarshana. From that, Sankarshana expands into Mahasankarshana. Mahasankarshana incarnates as Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu, from his eyes, the glands comes out. One eye, the Jiva Shakti, another eye, Kala Shakti. And they both combine together with the Maya Shakti and takes a form called Shambhu.
Okay.
Shambhu Damasa Samapedikarya. And then the millions of universes are created. And the Shambhu expands into each universe as Lord Shiva. And then Lord Shiva, he expands himself into Rudras at the time of destruction.
Okay.
And there is one form of the Lord who is known as Sadashiva, who is one of the in the spiritual world, he is one of the Vishnus. In this way, Sadashiva, Shambhu, Shiva, and Rudra, 4 levels.
Wonderful.
And when it comes to destruction, the Rudras they do. In that Rudras list, there is one Shiva also. So in this way, maintenance, Lord Shiva maintains, Krishna maintains through Lord Shiva. When Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that this Brahma, Mama Yonir Mahat Brahma Taspin Garbham Dadamyam. Mama Yonir Mahat Brahma. Mahat Brahma means material nature. I impregnate. So Lord Krishna directly doesn't impregnate. Okay. But he impregnates through Lord Shiva. Because Lord Krishna doesn't directly touch the material nature. The direct contact with material nature is with Lord Shiva. Okay. He impregnates.
Very nice, Maharaj. So that is why in 10th chapter Bhagavad Gita also when he says Rudranam Shankaraschasmi, so he's talking about the 11 Rudras, among them Krishna is Shankara.
Yes. Okay. And this is how he creates. Maintenance, we know very well that Lord Shiva maintains by entering into the Panchamahabhutas, these 5 elements. They are all controlled by Lord Shiva. Okay. And it is he who feeds us, gives us everything. Being empowered by Lord Krishna. So maintenance also Lord Shiva has. Okay. Spiritual maintenance also Lord Shiva has. That is, he gives Bhagavatam, he gives Pancharatra. Scriptures teaches us. Of course, destruction is done by Lord Shiva by this Pralaya. He does the Pralaya. Third eye opens. So in this way, Lord Shiva has all this. He helps Lord Krishna in creation, maintenance, and destruction. Okay.
So Maharaj, earlier you touched upon Hanuman's aspect here. So just now you explained actually there are many different aspects of Shiva. Shiva Tattva itself is quite deep. So this Shiva who is offering prayers in Ilavrata Varsha, this is the same Shiva who is in Kailasa?
Yeah, it's expansion.
Expansion.
He has many forms.
Okay. And anybody who worships Lord Shiva, very likely that they will go to Ilavrata Varsha, so they can worship along with Lord Shiva there, Maharaj.
Yeah, they can do. It all depends on what is their desire and what kind of worship they have done, what kind of perfection they have done. They have desire that I want to go to Ilavat Varsha and worship Lord Krishna, sitting with Lord Shiva, then very much fine.
Okay. Nice, Maharaj. So we'll move to the next chapter now, chapter 18. The residents of Jambudvipa offer prayers. So the second set of prayers here, Maharaj, is Srila Shukadeva Goswami is saying in text 1. Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, Bhadrashrava, the son of Dharmaraja, rules the tract of land known as Bhadrashva Varsha. Just as Lord Shiva worships Sankarshana in Ilavrata Varsha, Bhadrashrava, accompanied by his intimate servants and all the residents of the land, worships the plenary expansion of Vasudeva known as Hayashirsha. Lord Hayashirsha is very dear to the devotees and he is the director of all religious principles. Fixed in the topmost trance, Bhadrashrava and his associates offer their respectful obeisances to the Lord and chant the following prayers with careful pronunciation. So Maharaj, this Hayashirsha is same as Hayagriva, is it?
Yeah, he's Hayagriva.
Okay.
Jnanandamayam devam nirmala spatikakritim adharam sarvidyanam Hayagriva pasmahe.
Okay. So I'm jumping to the third verse here. Aho vichitram bhagavad vicheshtitam nantam janoyam hi mishanna pashyati dhyayan asadyarhi vikarma sevitum nirhritya putram pitaram jijivishati. Alas, how wonderful it is that the foolish materialist does not heed the great danger of impending death. He knows that death will surely come, yet he is nevertheless callous and neglectful. If his father dies, he wants to enjoy his father's property, and if his son dies, he wants to enjoy his son's possessions as well. In either case, he heedlessly tries to enjoy material happiness with the acquired money. So, Maharaj, although this seems quite harsh, but it is the fact that, like we say, smashana vairagya, when death is happening in the family, no doubt for a few days there is this vairagya. But after that, we just move on like as though nothing has happened. Like in this translation, it is said, if the father dies, he wants to enjoy father's property. And unfortunately, if his son dies, he wants to enjoy his son's possessions as well. So, what is the nature of this illusory energy or our own positioning, this illusory thing that we get covered, we forget, and then we just carry on like as though we are going to live forever?
True. But these days, even people don't have samshan vairagya.
Oh, yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah.
There is one city in Gujarat called Rajkot, very famous city. There, all the famous restaurants or eateries, they are there just outside the Samshan Ghat.
Oh, no.
And people go there to eat. And as soon as they burn the body, come out, and then they sit and laugh and enjoy all the Gujarati snacks they have there. So,
why are we becoming so degraded? Yeah.
Yeah, why are we becoming so degraded? That's a big question. These people are very sensitive. That is the residents of Bhadrashrava. So these residents, they are praying with such sensitivity and they say that we are like animals. Because in a Bharata Varsha, Even the low-born people, they attain Vaikuntha very easily. And we are now bewildered, just see, because of the opulence. So out of humility, they are speaking about themselves.
But along the same lines, Maharaj, like you said, this is a heavenly planet in Bhumandala. So they actually, I don't think their sun is dying while they are alive. In 17th chapter, such glorious qualities were talked about, their level of sense enjoyment and all that. So they can't possibly be experiencing their own sun's death. So who are they talking about here? Bharatavarsha residents?
Death is everywhere, but it is not realized the way it is realized here. That is what they say. They have in the people in this land of Bhugola, they have a better opportunity of self-realization because they see the perfection quite evident. The misery is quite evident. Like in America, people experience extreme misery, but it is not seen. If anybody comes from India for the first time here and see, oh, what a nice place, so clean, roads are nice, so wonderful. Oh, it's like Swarga. But once they say stay here for a few months, as long as they're guests here in America, it's very good.
Yeah.
But when you become a resident here, then you'll understand it's not easy because it's expensive here.
Yes.
And you are a very rich, a poor millionaire you are.
What happened?
Millionaire, very poor. Because you had to clean your own house.
Yeah.
You had to wash your own vessels. You had to drop your child to the school.
Yeah.
No milkman comes and delivers milk here. You had to go and purchase things.
Yes.
There is no, what you call, what is it? Blinkit.
Yeah.
Yeah, one devotee was telling me here. We miss Blinkit here.
Yeah.
I was not getting what. Days when I was in India, then by the time you start eating food, then you find that you don't have yogurt, curd, buttermilk. You just take the phone and then click. By the time your last rice comes and you have to get that person delivers you.
Yes. Yeah.
Here somebody ordered for some food from something, and it comes in a robot.
Uber Eats, no?
Huh?
Uber Eats?
Yeah, one robot. It carries, it comes in front of you. You have to go out and then take.
Oh.
Something happened that that robot lost the way or something like that. And is waiting 2 hours. He waited. So all crazy things happen here in spite of ease of living.
Yes.
To attain that ease of living, the difficulty which goes behind it, that is very complicated.
Yes.
So like that only here also, they see pain in the Bhugola where we are staying, but they don't perceive it. But still, the experience is painful. So they think things are happy. So that is why they say you are very fortunate that you have Sadhu Sangha, you have Ganga, you have Varanasi, you have so many Vrindavan. You go, many sadhus are there. You know, world is miserable. But there in the heavenly planets, not there. That is why they say, oh, what a fortune that these people are in the earth.
Very relatable example, Maharaj. Yeah, definitely people in America constantly they crib and complain about how they cannot afford maids, cooks, drivers, which in India is like very, very accessible. So the next verse, Maharaj, immediately they are saying, what to speak of the ignorant, that even the wise are bewildered. So what can you say about this, Maharaj? The nature of Maya is so strong that it bewilders even the wise. What to speak of the ignorant?
Yes. Now, the wise people are also bewildered. Because in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says this point. Even Vichakshana, those who are very learned, what it was, Bhagavad Gita, Vipaschitaha. What Vipaschita, it says that even those who are very learned, they are bewildered by Maya. Because they think by my own endeavor, I can become happy. Because of this ignorance, I can conquer the senses. That is their bewilderment. They think by my intelligence, my own self-control, my own strength, I'll conquer Maya. In that way, knowledge bewilders them.
Interesting. Knowledge is supposed to unbewilder us. I don't know if there is a word called unbewilder, but here knowledge itself is bewildering.
Yes.
Okay. So, were you going to say something else, Maharaj?
No.
Okay. So the fifth verse here. O Lord, although you are completely detached from the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this material world and are not directly affected by these activities, they are all attributed to you. We do not wonder at this, for your inconceivable energies perfectly qualify you to be the cause of all causes. You are the active principle in everything. Although you are separate from everything, thus we can realize that everything is happening because of your inconceivable energy. Although Prabhupada in this translation is not writing here, I'm seeing in Sarartha Darshini, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying the Lord is not the doer. So we say ultimately Krishna is the cause of all causes, he is the doer. And here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says he is non-doer. So how do we reconcile this, Maharaj? He's the doer, non-doer? What is going on?
So the doership is a good question, is a very important question. Who does? The summary of the philosophy of doership is like Prakriti, Jiva, and Ishvara, the Supreme Lord. All the three are doers. At the same time, all the three are non-doers. The Lord is a doer because he is sanctioner. But he has nothing to do with this world, so he is non-doer. The Jiva is the doer because he is a person who desires.
Okay.
That is, at the same time, he is transcendental, so he is non-doer. And the Prakriti, material nature, is a doer because it is the only active thing, that is modes of nature. As an instrument, he is the doer. Suppose if I shoot somebody, who shooted? I or the gun? So I shooted using the gun as an instrument. So if Jiva has to do something, and he does it through the instrument of the body, the modes of nature. So ultimately, the modes of nature are the doer. At the same time, they're not doers because they're unconscious.
Okay.
So in this way, one has to understand the doership and non-doership of the Lord, the Jiva, the living entity, and material nature.
Thank you, Maharaj, for that comprehensive explanation. In the next shloka, that is sixth verse, at the end of the millennium, ignorance personified assumed the form of a demon, stole all the Vedas, and took them down to the planet of Rasatala. The Supreme Lord, however, in his form of Hayagriva, retrieved the Vedas and returned them to Lord Brahma when he begged for them. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord, whose determination never fails. So, Maharaj, here when it said end of the millennium, which millennium? And also, Narasimha is very popular. We know half man, half lion. So, this Hayagriva, he is half man, then half horse. So, if you can shine some light on Hayagriva form and when he appeared.
Is there any mention about that in which Manvantara? I don't know. But it is there in the Puranas. About
Okay.
When he appeared, we cannot say, because the Puranic stories,
Hmm.
they belong to any Manvantara or any Kalpa also.
Okay.
So there was one Kalpa when this happened, when Brahma lost and Hayagriva came. Brahma
Hmm.
losing Veda,
Hmm.
sometimes Brahma loses Veda, and then the Lord appears as Varaha Narasimha and gives Veda back to him.
Mhm.
Once upon a time, it happened that there was one Devan who was also known as Hayagriva.
Hmm.
Then he also had a boon that nobody can kill him.
Hmm.
Only a person who's got a horse head and a man's body can kill. Then he thought, how
Oh.
is there in the world? Who has got this?
Hmm.
The Lord appeared as Hayagriva.
Okay.
Hayagriva is very well known for education. It's a
Mm-hmm.
very famous mantra which I chanted before also, the
Correct.
beginning of the class.
Mm-hmm.
Jnananandamayan devam nirmalaspatikakritim adharam sarvijnanam Hayagriva pasmai.
Hmm.
So much can be spoken about Hayagriva.
Uh-huh.
In devotees of Hayagriva, they are there in Sri Sampradaya and also in Madhu Sampradaya. An Acharya named Vedanta Deshika. He got all the knowledge because of worshipping Hayagriva.
Oh.
There is one Divedesham called Tiruvaindrapuram
Mm-hmm.
in Kadalur district
Mm-hmm.
near Chidambaram. They are on top of the hill. Vedanta Deshika, he chanted Hayagriva mantra, which was given to him by Garuda.
Oh.
The Lord appeared in a golden form. He stayed there. The deity is still there.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Madhu Sampradaya, you have Vadiraja Tirtha, who also was a great devotee of Hayagriva.
Oh.
Hayavadana, Hayagriva.
Hmm.
And Vadiraja writes many stotras, but one of the stotras says Hayagriva, Hayagriva, Hayagriveti yodet. Tasya nissarate vani janhu kanya pravahavat. When you chant the name of Hayagriva, Hayagriva, Hayagriva 3 times, then knowledge flows through your tongue like Janhu Kanya. Your speech will be flowing through your tongue like Janhu Kanya, like Ganga. Ganga, how it pravaha. The stream of Ganga is very, very continuous. Same way, Hayagriva, Hayagrivet Yuvadet. One who chants the name of Hayagriva thrice, then his speech will be very, very pure.
Wow. Okay. Very interesting connections, Maharaj, between different sampradayas, different acharyas. So, moving on to the next set of prayers. So, from verses 7 to 14, our wonderful Prahalada, he is offering prayers to Narasimha in Hari Varsha. In the interest of time, I'm not going through every single verse here. So, I'm going to jump to the 9th verse. May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga, for by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. Can there be auspiciousness even for the sinful, Maharaj? What is he praying here?
Yeah, they require the most. Who requires medicine? No, one who is sick, he requires the most. So the prayer is very powerful. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya Namaste Jase Aviravir Bhava Vajranaka Vajramishtra Karma Simrandhaya Randhaya Tamo Grasa Grasa Sum Swaha Abhayam Abhayam Atmani Bhuishtha Om Shram. So this has got repetition. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya Namaha Tejas Tejase Aviravir Bhava Vajranaka Vajramishtra Karma Randhaya 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 Tamo Grasa Grasa Om Swaha. So burn the impressions of karma, destroy ignorance, like that. Tamo Grasa Grasa, destroy, destroy. 2 times. And Om Strom, this is Bijakshara of Narasimha.
Mm.
So, while chanting this mantra,
Mm.
what is the mood while chanting this mantra? That is a very important verse. Swastyasta Vishwasya Kalaprasedatam. The Daya of Prahlad is being described here. Dhyayantu Bhutani Shivam Mithodya Namastabhatram Bhajatadadokshaje Aveshyatam no Matirapya Hetuki. Very important words where Prahlad is saying that in your mind, just have no motivation and let be absorbed in the Supreme Lord.
Mm.
And I should be free from all attachment. And let everyone join me in meditating on the Supreme Lord.
Mm.
By this, let there be auspiciousness around the world. And by hearing this, sometimes the wicked people say, hey, what are you doing? You're great. What are you praying for me?
Mm.
Even they, wicked people, should also become very happy.
Mm.
So, Prasidatam, even the demons should not become angry.
Mm.
See, of course, devotees are not afflicted with anger.
Mm.
But there is natural animosity among people.
Mm.
So let the auspiciousness be present, prevail on them also.
Mm.
Because as long as there is material attachment, there is no question of any auspiciousness.
Mm.
So let all the living entities join me in meditating on Supreme Lord.
Mm.
So let the meditation make everything auspicious. Because without meditating on the Supreme Lord, even the auspicious thing in this world becomes inauspicious. By meditating on the word, on the Lord, even inauspicious become auspicious. Yeah.
Wow. So I'm jumping to the 11th verse here. This whole section is beautiful, Prahlada's prayers. Yat sangalabdham nijavirya vaibhavam tirtam muhus samsprishatam himanasam haratya jonta shruti birgatom gajam kovaina seveta mukunda vikramam. By associating with persons for whom the Supreme Personality of Godhead Mukunda is the all in all, one can hear of his powerful activities and soon come to understand them. The activities of Mukunda are so potent that simply by hearing of them, one immediately associates with the Lord. For a person who constantly and very eagerly hears narrations of the Lord's powerful activities, the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, in the form of sound vibrations, enters within his heart and cleanses it of all contamination. On the other hand, although bathing in the Ganges diminishes bodily contaminations and infections, this process and the process of visiting holy places can cleanse the heart only after a long time. Therefore, who is the sane man who will not associate with devotees to quickly perfect his life? So, Maharaj, when I read this, I got more clarity in terms of every single time I hear your lecture, I was feeling like simply by hearing your class, Nashtaprayesh Vabhadreshu is happening. You just feel purified. You're not acted on it, not done any manana, nothing. Of course, I do that a little later. But just by hearing, it is so potent. I remember in one of your classes in ISKCON Tirupati, you were glorifying His Holiness Gaur Govind Maharaj. So you were saying when you hear his classes, you were saying for you, you used to feel like that. So, here in this verse, it is said this hearing is so potent simply by sincerely sitting down and hearing from the lotus mouth of a devotee. The Shravanam, the pastimes of the Lord, is entering the heart, and from there it is actually purifying, it is removing the material desires from the mind. So, how potent the Shravanam is, if you can please glorify this aspect a little more.
Yes, when you hear about Krishna, then Krishna is attracted to you.
Mhm.
Actually, in this world, we get attracted to the person who hear about us or who hear from us.
Yes.
So when Krishna is attracted, Krishna enters the mind and attracts the mind.
Mhm.
He enters to the ears and then attracts our mind.
Mhm.
So when our mind is attracted to Krishna, then all arthas are gone.
Okay.
As simple as that.
Mm.
Anartha means what? Useless things which has
Mm.
no artha is not anartha.
Mm.
That means those things which don't have meaning, that
Mm.
means in one sense useless.
Mm.
So why the useless things are there in our heart? Because our mind is not attracted to Krishna.
Mhm.
When Krishna is there sitting in the mind, there is no question of any anartha.
Mhm.
And that is why Bhagavatam was written by Vyasadeva. Anarthopashamanam sakshat bhakti udakshade lokasya majananto vidvans chakre satta samhitam.
Mm.
And these anarthas are removed only when we hear in the association of devotees.
Mm.
Ramayana is going on
Yes.
because I was supposed to complete this chapter today, fourth sarga.
Mm.
The last verse of the fourth sarga of Ramayana, Bubushaha Parishat Ganeshanehi. Lord Rama was sitting on a throne up.
Mhm.
There are many steps, and there's a big circular arena
Mm.
where all the Ayodhyavasis who had come to Naimisharanya there at that time,
Mm.
they were all hearing Lavakusha singing Ramayana.
Mm.
So now Lord Rama was sitting on top. Then he thought that hearing something sitting on top alone,
Mhm.
and Rama is hearing, but there's no pleasure.
Yeah.
Because sitting with devotees and hearing is some special pleasure. So
Mm.
Lord Rama, he wanted to come down, sit with people and hear. And he thought if I come down walking, my
Mhm.
ornaments are there and my shoe has got so many gems and pearls and they makes noise and people look behind and it become disturbance and they'll be. So he Shanaihi Parishad Ghani Shanaihi. So he got down from the throne very slowly so that
Oh.
nobody will notice.
Oh.
And he just skid down. He sat one among the audience there
Mm.
and started hearing to what Lava and Kush are singing.
Mm.
So it actually says that
Mm.
if you are alone, it is very Krishna Katha is not very relishable if you are alone.
Mm.
Krishna Katha becomes very relishable when you are sitting with the devotees. Ekaha swadhuna bunjita.
Mhm.
There will be no taste when you eat and sit alone, sitting
Mhm.
alone and eating. Like you have a big feast made
Yeah.
and you are alone to eat it. It's not very enjoying.
Mhm.
Pleasure is not there. Oh, if there are about 10 people, relatives, friends are there, oh, the food becomes 10 times more tasty, and maybe 100 times.
Okay.
You eat that, oh, it's so beautiful. Hey, you have to take more. Now you are alone with all these things. That is why when you're alone, you just make some khichdi and eat or something like that, some fruit.
Mm.
Okay, who is good?
Mm.
You'll not take the trouble of cooking
Mm.
big feast.
Mhm.
So, ekaha swadhana bunjita. One cannot relish a delicacy alone. And what can be a better delicacy than Krishna Katha, Rama Katha?
Mm.
And if you want to enjoy the delicacy more, 100 times more, then you have to be with people.
Mm.
Hmm. that the Lord also felt that I am regaining my life. I lost my wife, so it's as good as losing my wife, my life. So when Lord Rama heard Ramayana from Lavakusha, Bhushaya means he felt that I now have a desire to live. He felt, what is the use of life without wife? Then he felt that urge of living again by hearing Katha. And he showed to the entire world this Krishna Katha, Rama Katha. Actually, it gives a desire for you to live, a purpose for you to live. If you don't have, if you don't hear, then there is no purpose of living.
Yeah. Beautiful, Maharaj. That's why sometimes you put it bluntly also. If you don't want to hear Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Katha, then better commit suicide. Pashupnath.
Yeah, Parikshit Maharaj told that. Why did not say?
Okay. So the next shloka, Maharaj, I've heard this from you quite a few times. So here it is, actually from Prahlad Maharaj. So would like to get into this also. यस्यास्ति भक्तिर्भगवत्य किञ्चन सर्वैर्गुणैस्तत्र समासते सुराः हरावभक्तस्य कुतो महद्गुण मनोरथेन सति धावतो बहिः. All the demigods and their exalted qualities such as religion, knowledge and renunciation become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva. On the other hand, a person devoid of devotional service and engaged in material activities has no good qualities. Even if he is adept at the practice of mystic yoga or the honest endeavor of maintaining his family and relatives, he must be driven by his own mental speculations and must engage in the service of the Lord's external energy. How can there be any good qualities in such a man? So please take us through this very beautiful, important verse, Maharaj.
So, what is the glory of the devotee? The glory of the devotee is like that, who is hearing Krishna Katha. Because last verse talks about Krishna Katha. And what is the glory of the devotee who hears Krishna Katha in the association of devotees? Then, that is what it is. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavate kinchana sarvair gune satta samasate sura. So the devatas, they have all the good qualities. Now, all the devatas, they come and sit and hear in the katha. And what do? They give those qualities to the devotee who hearing Krishna.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That means you don't have to do any special service to the devatas. Devatas come and give.
Wow.
And the devotees, the devatas, you may say, oh, they are sense enjoyers. There are some devatas who have bad qualities. No, they only give good qualities. Bad qualities they will not give. Tatra samasate sura. So, on the other hand, if somebody has already good qualities, but he's not, he's having good qualities, but he's not doing bhakti, where are the good qualities? Because they are sitting on the mind of the chariot and always pursuing sense enjoyment. You may say, hey, what is wrong? How can you say that a person cannot have good qualities without bhakti? Yes, even though he has good qualities, because of lack of bhakti, those good qualities become bad qualities. Yeah.
Maharaj, it's very beautiful to hear this. But however, when we see in reality, now this shloka is setting a very high bar. It is saying that if you're just doing bhakti, then all the good qualities of all the demigods will manifest in you. But however, the fact of the matter is, once we start associating, not all devotees are of the same level of...
you forgot one word there. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavate kinchana. What bhakti is being spoken there?
Akinchana Bhakti. Okay, got it.
Ah,
Okay. That answers
yeah.
it. Attention to the details. Okay. So one more shloka here, Maharaj, and then we'll move on to the next set of prayers. So 14th was Tasmad Rajo Raga Vishada Manyo Manaspruha Bhaya Dainyadhi Moolam Hitva Griham Samsruti Chakravalam Narsimha Padam Bhajata Kuto Bhayam Iti. Therefore, O demons, give up the so-called happiness of family life and simply take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Narasimha Deva, which are the actual shelter of fearlessness. Entanglement in family life is the root cause of material attachment, indefatigable desires, moroseness, anger, despair, fear, and the desire for false prestige, all of which result in the repetition of birth and death. So, Maharaj, when Prahlad is calling for this, give up the so called happiness of family life, give up desires, moroseness, anger, despair, fear, and just take shelter of Narasimha, he will give fearlessness. How do we do this? It should be possible because he's saying give up everything. And we want to give up, but how do we actually give up everything and just surrender to the lotus feet of Narasimha?
What is supposed to be given up? What is supposed to be? Attachment has to be given up. Because your attachment should be for Krishna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you are attached to something else, how can you further? Yeah.
So, attachment to Krishna will spontaneously, involuntarily bring detachment from all these material things, Maharaj. Like you said, attachment is the problem.
Naturally.
No conscious endeavor is needed other than getting attracted to Krishna.
Yes. There is
Okay.
nothing required.
Mm-hmm,
The only thing which is required.
Okay. So, Maharaj, moving on to the next set of prayers from shlokas 15 to 23, where Lakshmi Devi is offering her prayers to Kamadeva in Ketumala Varsha. So there are so many things to discuss, Maharaj. I'm also keeping an eye on the clock here. We don't have the luxury to go into all the details. So I'm going to jump to 18th and 19th was here. So pretty long translation. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Hrishikesha, the controller of all my senses and the origin of everything. As the Supreme Master of all bodily, mental, and intellectual activities, he is the only enjoyer of their results. The 5 sense objects and 11 senses, including the mind, are his partial manifestations. He supplies all the necessities of life, which are his energy, and thus non-different from him, and he is the cause of everyone's bodily and mental prowess, which is also non-different from him. Indeed, he is the husband and provider of necessities for all living entities. The purpose of all the Vedas is to worship him. Therefore, let us all offer him our respectful obeisances. May he always be favorable toward us in this life and the next. I'll just read out the next translation also. My dear Lord, you are certainly the fully independent master of all the senses. Therefore, all women who worship you by strictly observing vows because they wish to acquire a husband to satisfy their senses are surely under illusion. They do not know that such a husband cannot actually give protection to them or their children, nor can he protect their wealth or duration of life, for he himself is dependent on time, fruitive results, and the modes of nature, which are all subordinate to him. So, Maharaj, what exactly is the meaning of the word pati, husband? Lord Lakshmi Devi is speaking. And then she is telling only women under illusion are praying to my husband to get other husband. Only husband should be Narayana, but they are worshipping to get other husbands who are not actually husbands.
Yes. Pati means protector. And if you are going to the real Pati and then say, I want another Pati, duplicate Pati.
Yeah.
Then what is this? Oh Pati Dev, I am praying to you to give me another Pati. And that Pati is also praying to Pati Dev. He's Pati Dev. Give me another Pati. Protect her. So, going to Ganga and asking, oh Ganga, bless me so that I can get water in my well. Foolishness.
Okay. You're going to say something, Maharaj, or shall I move to the next one?
No, nothing. Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay. So actually, I want to discuss so many things, but it's going to take a lot of time. So I'm going to jump here and there. So 23rd verse. O infallible one, your lotus palm is the source of all benediction. Therefore, your pure devotees worship it, and you very mercifully place your hand on their heads. I wish that you may also place your hand on my head. For although you already bear my insignia of golden streaks on your chest, I regard this honor as merely a kind of false prestige for me. You show your real mercy to your devotees, not to me. Of course, you are the supreme absolute controller, and no one can understand your motives. So, this is quite intriguing. She is there on the chest of the Lord, and the Lord is called Srivatsa. So, for somebody who is already on the chest, she is telling, no, no, put your head, put your hand, your palm on my head, just like you put it on the head of your devotees. And so, why is she asking this? Put your hand on my head. Who can understand your motives, false prestige, and all these things?
Yeah, this verse is full of rasa. See, I'm your wife. She says, I'm your wife.
Yes.
You are worshipped by Brahma and so many great personalities. Ultimately, I'm your wife. But I'm unfortunate. You see, you reside in my heart. But I'm always having fear. You may leave me and go. So you give me the ashwasana. Ashwasana means guarantee that you will not leave me and go. This hand of yours is praised by great sages because it gives lot of benedictions. So, though you are there in my heart as a mark, yes, with lajja, with a kind of a shyness, she say covers her face with the cloth. She says that you hold me on your chest as a golden line. But actually, that is to show to people, that's all. This you do show that, show good fortune to the devotees. But actually, now I want that you should keep your hand on my head. So you put me on your chest so that devotees can see. But now, please keep your hand on my head so that I become peaceful and be secured. So, as a wife of Lord, she is expressing her mood. Dasya rasa, but within Dasya, Madhurya is also there. So, in this way, she is talking like that.
Okay. Nice.
Because Krishna had told Uddhava, nobody is dear to me as much you are dear to me. Neither Brahma is dear to me, nor Lord Shiva is dear to me, nor Sankarshna, even Lakshmi is also not dear to me.
Okay, this connection.
So now she is having the fear. I'm not dear to you, told it. Uddhava is more dear. So now you give me ashwasan.
Beautiful, Maharaj. Very nice. So Maharaj, jumping to the next set of prayers from shlokas 24 to 28. So here Vaivasvata Manu is offering prayers to Matsyavatara in Ramyaka Varsha. So who is Matsya, if you can say, and this prayer of Vaivasvata Manu to Matsyavatara?
Yeah, just take. Now Ramyake ja Bhagavataha Priyatam Matsyam Avatara Rupam Tatvarsha Purushasya Manoho Darshitam sa idanim api mahabhakti yoge naradhyati dam chodarhati. So the ruler of the Ramyak Varsha is Vaivasvata Manu. Of course, now he is the Manu for us, Vaivasvata, son of Vaivasvata. So at the end of the previous Manvantara, the Chakshusha Manvantara, there was a flood. And Satyardhani, he again, next Manvantara, he became the Manu. The mantra, what he chants is like this. Om Namo Bhagavate Mukyatamaya Namaha Sattvaya Pranaya Anjase Sahase Balaya Mahamatsyaya Nama Iti. You know Matsyavatara, he appeared in the previous Manvantara at the end to save the Vedas.
Okay.
That is why Matsyavatara was also for the purpose of education, means Vedic knowledge.
Okay.
So he says that you are the Lord who controls the universe through the rules, which take various names. Just as the master controls a female puppet. So he talks about the controller of the Lord as a controller through the Vedas. Yeah, at the end, how did he protect? That is what is described in 28th verse. Bhava Yugantarar Nave Urmimalini Shonim Mimam Moshati Virudham Nidhim Maya Sahoro Kramateja Hojasa Tasmai Jagat Prana Ganatmane Namaha. So I offer obeisances to you because you are Jagadatmane Namaha. You control all the living entities, and especially in the previous Manvantara, you went around the ocean of the Pralaya and saved the sages and the Vedas. So that's about Matsya.
Okay. So now going from Matsya to Kurma, so 29th verse here, Shukadeva Goswami continued, in Hiranmaya Varsha, the Supreme Lord Vishnu lives in the form of a tortoise, Kurma Sharira. This most dear and beautiful form is always worshipped there in devotional service by Aryama, the chief resident of Hiranmaya Varsha, along with the other inhabitants of that land. They chant the following hymns. Who is Aryama, Maharaj? We don't hear of him quite often.
Aryama is in charge of the Pitraloka.
Oh, okay.
When Yama was cursed and he came to Yama in this loka as Dharmaraja, then Aryama took over that role. So Aryama is a Vaishnava who is in charge of the Pitraloka, where the Pitris go. That's the planet Aryama.
Okay. So he's praying to Kurma, and then in the next section, shlokas 34 to 39. So there, Bhumi Devi, she is worshipping Varaha Dev in Uttara Kuru Varsha. So if you can briefly talk about this, Maharaj, the prayers offered by Bhumi Devi to Varaha.
Varaha is connected to Bhumi. That is why Bhumi Devi herself is praying to Varaha. She is a wife because Dharanyudharanaya Namaha. So Varadev, he came and then rescued Mother Earth. So she is there worshipping Varaha. Varaha, whenever there is some problems regarding land, we go and worship Varaha. Varaha.
Mm.
The mantra by which Varadeva is worshipped is Om Namo Bhagavate Mantra Tattva Lingaya Yajna Kratave Mahadra Dhvara Mahadvara Vyayaya Mahapurushaya Mahakarmasu Shuklaya Tri Yugaya Namaste.
Mm.
So Varadev, we know that he is the person who started all the Yajna Varaha, all the yajnas started from him.
Mm.
All kinds of yajnas.
Mhm.
Those yajnas which involve animal sacrifice,
Mm.
those yajnas which involve animal sacrifice, which don't involve sacrifice.
Mm.
He is the form, Yajna Murti.
Mm.
So Yajna Kratave.
Mm.
You name a yajna, the lord of that yajna is Varaha Dev.
Mm.
In spite of he coming in the form of Varaha, is Shuddha Sattvaya, Shuklaya. Shuddha Sattva is totally transcendental. Triyugaya means the form which has three pairs of qualities. That is, Triyuga means 3 into 2. That is, one who has got 6 opulences in full,
Mm.
6 qualities in full. Yeah, what learned people, they do Kavayaha, Vipaschitaha, devotees, what they do, in their mind, they use the mind as a churning rod.
Mm.
By doing so, what they do is contemplating on your form. They chant the names of the Lord and they see you. By constant meditation, they go on seeing you.
Mm.
Like by rubbing two woods, you get fire. In the same way, by constant meditation of the Lord comes in front of you, gives darshan.
Mm.
So they go on speaking the philosophy of Bhakti. By Bhakti, of hearing and chanting and repeated contemplation, then the Lord manifests in your mind.
Mm.
So unto such Lord, I offer my obeisances who is having no Maya, devoid of Maya.
Mm.
Even though the Lord comes in the form of Varaha,
Mm.
is actually a pig, very
Mm.
granatmaka,
Mm.
very obnoxious animal, but still the Lord body is transcendental.
Mm.
Yeah, these are the points which are spoken in these prayers.
Yes. Interesting that Bhumi Devi is saying that it's not with our charma chakshu, with the eyes that we see the Lord, but by churning the pastimes of the Lord constantly in our mind.
Yes.
So Maharaj, going into the next chapter, so the continuation of this. So in the 8th Varsha, that is Kim Purusha Varsha, of course, you're doing this whole beautiful, wonderful Ramayana series only. But here Hanuman is worshipping Lord Ramachandra in Kim Purusha Varsha in the first 8 verses of the 19th chapter. So if you can in a gist highlight some of the aspects what he's praying there.
Oh, they're all very long prayers. So, of course, Lord Hanuman is always attached to Lord Rama. He says, among all the avatars worthy of worship, Rama is the ocean of mercy. He is most merciful and the most worthy of worship. So what happens is all persons are qualified to worship Lord Rama without any distinction. Everybody is qualified to worship Lord Rama. So everybody should worship Rama by all methods. Sarvatmanaha. Because everybody is qualified, so everybody should take all the effort to worship the Lord. And Lord Rama took all the inhabitants of Ayodhya to the very, in those very bodies to Vaikuntha.
Oh, sure.
Same body, he just took them to Vaikuntha, Saketa. That is speciality of Lord Rama. No other incarnation did this kind of thing. Bhajeta Ramam Manujakritim Harim Ya uttaran anayat koshalam divam iti. That is how Hanuman, he glorifies Lord Rama. That what what a person, what no other incarnation has did, Lord Rama did this thing. That is a speciality.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's one verse is enough about Lord Rama.
The last Varsha, Maharaj, Bharata Varsha. So here, I'll just jump to the 9th verse here, 19th chapter. Shukadeva Goswami continued, the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are inconceivable. He has appeared in the form of Naranarayana in the land of Bharata Varsha at the place known as Badarikashrama to favor his devotees by teaching them religion, knowledge, renunciation, spiritual power, sense control, and freedom from false ego. He is advanced in the opulence of spiritual assets and he engages in executing austerity until the end of this millennium. This is the process of self realization. So, the last set of prayers in this context, Maharaj, Narada Muni, he is worshipping Naranarayana in Bharata Varsha. So, what can you teach us about Narada's prayers?
Yes. Naranarayana Rishi. We know the story of Narayana. They appeared to kill one demon called Sahasra Kavacha. So they came and did tapasya. They are the tapasya incarnation. Tapasya incarnation means incarnation of the Shaktavesh avatar of Tapashakti of the Lord. Naranarayana Rishi. 1,000 years Nara would do tapasya, Narayana would destroy one kavacha of the 1,000 kavachas of Sahasra Kavacha.
Okay.
And immediately Nara would fight and then destroy the second kavacha, like that. So then the same Naranarayana appeared as Krishna and Arjuna. And Sahasra Kavacha, when only one kavacha was left, that he went to Surya Manda. And he appeared as Karna.
Oh, okay.
Karna appeared with 31 kavacha.
Right.
So now the last kavacha was to be destroyed by whom? By Arjuna. So who is Nara? Okay. So we have this Naranarayana Rishi, and there they are doing mantropadesha. What is mantropadesha? Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. This is the mantra which they are giving, mantropadesha. The mantra by which they are worshipped there is Om Namo Bhagavate Upashama Shilayoparatana Namo Kinchana Vittaya Rishi Rishabhaya Naranarayanaya Paramahamsa Paramagurave Atma Ramadipataye Namo Nama Itihi. So in this way they are being worshipped in Padarikashrama. So Narada is worshipping them. Naranarayana Rishi. Yeah.
So Maharaj, the last section here, how the demigods are glorifying Bharata Varsha. I'll just quote here and there a little bit. I'm going to the 21st verse here. Since the human form of life is the sublime position for spiritual realization, all the demigods in heaven speak in this way. How wonderful it is for these human beings to have been born in the land of Bharata Varsha. They must have executed pious acts of austerity in the past, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself must have been pleased with them. Otherwise, how could they engage in devotional service in so many ways? We demigods can only aspire to achieve human births in Bharatavarsha to execute devotional service, but these human beings are already engaged there. So, what is the greatness of Bharatavarsha that even demigods are saying, even we want to take birth in Bharatavarsha as humans?
Yeah, those who are in Bharatavarsha, they are thinking of going to America. Those in America think of going back to Bharatavarsha. Not exact comparison, but
yes. Yeah.
In America, in India, people are trying. Somehow I had to go to America. Somehow I had to go to America. When I got the visa, one devotee is saying, "Ji, I'm willing to give any amount. Somehow get me visa." I told him, "I'm not your immigration person to give you any visa, guarantee of visa. Somehow I told, what do you want to do? First, somehow I want to go there. When I come here, people are trying to, you have any project or what, you want to be there in India, back to India." So that is the reason in Swarga, the problem is excessive sense enjoyment. When there is excessive sense enjoyment, excessive envy, that is why it is very difficult to perform bhakti there. But in this earth, there is misery. So you have realization is miserable place, miserable place, and you have to get out of it.
Yeah.
Because it is favorable to worship Mukunda. It is a great fortune to be born in this Bharatavarsha. Because you get sadhu sangha. There, what demigod? Each one is just trying to think of enjoying each other. So there is no sadhu sangha there. Though even Narada and all they visit, but still their king itself is involved in all sense enjoyment, Indra. So there is bhakti, but not pure devotional service.
Okay.
They all did a lot of sacrifice and attained this Swarga. But their remembrance of Narayana is very less. Why? Because of excessive sense enjoyment. Spitir pramushtatishayendriyo indriyotsavat. Atishayena indriya utsavat. Because atishayena is excessive sense enjoyment. There is no smriti. Nayatra Narayana pada pankaja smriti. There is no smriti of Narayana.
So, Maharaj, 25th verse here. So, not just being born in Bharatavarsha, but what we do after taking birth here is so much more important. Bharatavarsha offers the proper land and circumstances in which to execute devotional service, which can free one from the results of jnana and karma. If one obtains a human body in the land of Bharatavarsha with clear sensory organs with which to execute the Sankirtana Yajna, but in spite of this opportunity, he does not take to devotional service, he is certainly like liberated forest animals and birds that are careless and are therefore again bound by a hunter. So, what an unfortunate situation, in spite of having human life, that too in Bharatavarsha, but still not taking part in Sankirtana, then they are saying no better than animal and bird.
Yes, prapta nijatim tuiha echa chantavo jnana kriya dravya kalapa samvritam naveyeteran apunad bhavayate bhuyo nauka ivayanti vandanam. So in the forest, all the animals are free, but because if they are careless, then you're caught. So in the same way, those who do not do bhakti or endeavor to do bhakti are like these birds. The birds are free, freed by the hunter, but if again, because of inattention, they just come and caught again, then what to do? That is why Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumara charit prajnu dharman bhagavataniha durlabham manusam janma dadapyatrumartam. So, though you are demons, but still you are born in Bharatavarsha, Dharman, Bhagavatan, Iha.
Mm.
So don't waste this divine opportunity.
Mm. Mm. So, Maharaj, the nature of the mind is that we value something before we gain it and after we lose it. But when we actually have it, we become very complacent. So, any one or two words of advice you can share that we actually take advantage of this rare human birth in Bharatavarsha?
What is the advice? The advice is to know the glory of Bharatavarsha. You, for example, you give one diamond or one ruby or something like that, precious stone to a blind man. Then I think there is a stone. He is not able to see that.
Mm.
So what is supposed to do? To be careful. Understand the value of it. You should hear.
Mm.
When the person who gave the diamond or the jewel.
Mm.
So in the same way, you got a human life in the Bharatavarsha, and you are supposed to hear about the glory of that human life.
Mm. Mm.
Then you will become careful.
Mm. Yes. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. So really, really nice. I hope we all will take advantage of our rare human birth and make the most of it. And like Prabhupada says, finish the business in this very life. Don't take another chance. Hopefully, we will do that. So Maharaj, for the Brahmastra segment, so for the past several days, you are drowning us in the ocean of Ramayana. So for me, it is like I am living in my mind with all these personalities from Ramayana. It is so, so amazing. And the speciality of your classes, the unique feature I see is that, of course, the storyline itself is very mesmerizing. That is definitely there. But you take us through these philosophical aspects. So just the birth of Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, what they represent, the seed was, and then the most important was spoken by Sumitra, the guna, the qualities of Rama, the way you were explaining. It's just one after another. One is more brilliant than the other. There is no comparison. So, in that same spirit, we just celebrated Ramanavami also. So, just like you were describing the glorious qualities, the attractive qualities of Ramachandra, so I'm going to give you about a dozen different wonderful personalities from Ramayana. So, if you can highlight one, of course, there are so many qualities in each of them, but one essential quality that really stands out in that personality from Ramayana. So, we'll start from the very best, Ramachandra himself.
Kaushalya.
Okay. Kaushalya. Next, Lakshmana Maharaj.
Considering Lord Rama to be his prana.
Okay. Bharata.
Bharata taking responsibility in the service of Lord Ramachandra.
Okay. Shatrughna.
Serving the devotee.
Hmm. So all three are serving Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, but there are different flavors.
Yes.
Okay. Mother Sita.
Her chastity.
Okay. The other Lakshmana's wife, not spoken about very widely, Urmila.
Her love for Rama.
Very interesting.
That there should be no disturbance
Hmm.
in my husband serving Rama.
Very nice. Very instructive. Guha.
When Bharata came, Guha, he told, if I find some sin in the mind of Bharata, you all drown him now. He told all his boatmen.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
So he had that kind of affection for Rama, friend of Rama.
Yes. He's the one, right? Rama said he's my Atma Saka.
Yes.
Jai. Next, Hanuman.
His speech,
Okay.
which attracted Lord Ramachandra
Hmm.
attention.
Yes. Sugriva.
Sugriva. What fortune he has, we don't know, because he had Hanuman as his Sachiva.
Okay. Vibhishana.
Bhishana. Chosen one by Lord Rama.
Chosen one by Lord Rama. Okay.
Reveal the Sharanagati mantra. Sakila Prapannoyas Tavasmiti Yachate Sarvada Vayantasme Etad Vratam Mama. So these were the Vrata taken by Lord Ramachandra. Told that anybody just surrenders to me and then says Tava Asmi, I am yours, then I'll protect him throughout life.
Wow. Yes. Dasharath Maharaj.
Dasharatha. Though having Lord Rama as his son, but somehow he became a villain because of being strainya, because attached to woman.
So let's take that woman's name also next. Kaikeyi.
Revealed the glory of Lord Rama.
Wow.
When Rama came back, first he paid obeisances to Kaikeyi.
Yes, yes.
He could have gone directly to Kaushalya to show that, to give ashvasana to Kaikeyi that don't worry, I am your son, I am your protector. You will not be treated in a bad way.
Oh, wonderful. Rama is something else. Kausalya.
Kaushalya, her attachment to Rama was seen when she gave instruction to Sita when she is going to the forest. That Pativrata.
Yes. Saving the best for the last of all the sessions until now. Of course, today's I'm yet to hear what you gave just before coming for the recording. But of all of them, of course, each one is a gem. But Sumitra's, what you spoke about, the most important was is just another level itself. So the best for the last, Sumitra Devi.
Yes, her instructions to Lakshmana to serve Rama. Pramadam nagarshi bhratar gacchati gacchata taita sukham. Go and serve Rama. That instruction which mother is giving to the son. She becomes a perfect example for all the mothers. Even we have 4 mothers like that in the universe.
Yes.
The whole universe is
Yes.
having a different face altogether.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Ramayana is such a treasure. Bhagavatam is such a treasure. And you are such a treasure that you are actually revealing, opening these treasure houses and drowning us in the ocean. And the whole Ramayana series is just flowing like Ganga. The choice of words, the mood, the thoughts. I mean, it's just beautiful. I can't express it enough. So very nice. I'm kind of feeling sad that Ramayana series is going to come to quote unquote end very soon, but I'm also looking forward to Narasimha series will come, I think, next. So I'm looking forward to that also. So thank you so much, Maharaj. What time is it there? PST time right now?
Yeah, it's around 11 o'clock.
Wow. So it's
11.
been 11. Yeah. So it's been a marathon of speaking for you, Ramayana, Bhagavatam, and again tomorrow morning you have another session coming up. So ever grateful to you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. May you continue to enlighten us like this only, on and on and on. May we have the great fortune of listening to you on and on. So thank you so much, Maharaj. Eternally grateful to you. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, here we go. So we have talked about the 9 sets of prayers offered by 9 exalted personalities in 9 varshas to the predominating deities there. So next we will come back and we will continue this discussion for the rest of Canto 5. This Vedic cosmology is still going to go further. The horizontal structure, the vertical structure. I mean, it's just going to be mind-blowing. So don't go anywhere. We will catch you very soon in the next episode. Until then, as always, stay inquisitive and stay Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.